Hello, welcome to Cami Cooks. I'm Kimi Marchese and today we're making my cold soba noodle salad that's got grilled tofu, bunch of veggies, and like literally the best ponzu apple ginger love dressing you've ever had. Let's start with the dressing. Let's go in with the star ingredient, Ponzu. So Ponzu is basically a soy citrus blend, and when I order like sushi or anything like that, I always want Ponzu. I don't want the soy, I want the Ponzu because quite frankly, I think it's more delicious. And then oil. We need some green onion. Let's start with those first. I've got, what is this? I've got about 4 stems. We're gonna separate the dark green and light green parts because we're gonna save the dark green for chopping into the salad. And then the light green part, we're gonna use as like an onion kind of component that's gonna blend in the dressing. Cause like the light green part is more, it's like a shallot. It's like more aggressive oniony, whereas the dark green is kind of lighter. It's the garnish, but I want the ballsy onioniness in the blender. Need my knife. Okay, so since we're here, let's get all the green onion chopped for the top, and I'll just set it aside. And then for the part that's gonna go in the blender, don't worry about how you chop it. Obviously it's gonna be blended, just rough chop into chunks. That goes in. And now we need something a little bit sweet, so I'm gonna add some apple. This is a gala apple, so it's, you know, a little tart, a little sweet, not too crazy, but we don't want the peel because the peel is gonna change the color. If you were not feeling like peeling, honestly, not feeling like peeling. If you didn't feel like peeling it, it's fine. It's just, you're gonna have a little bit of a ruddy colored dressing. But I love dressings like this. I love a dressing that's like blended ingredients rather than just always oil and vinegar. It keeps it interesting. And also, like this one is super savory. It's like, makes you feel like you're really eating a meal. So yes, this dressing works fantastic on the soba noodle salad, but like put some baby greens, chop some bell pepper, put some, I don't know, mango into it, and then use this dressing. Send me pictures because I want to see it. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Okay, just chop the apple roughly and then just, again, rough chunks. It's all gonna blend. Comme ça. I need some ginger. Ginger is just the best. It adds like a pepperiness to it. Again, adds some really good savory flavor. I love it. I put ginger, like a lot of ginger, actually even in my morning smoothie because it's just so good, and it's just like good for your digestion. It makes me feel like I'm like opening my stomach up for a day of eating. This is how you peel. Use a little teaspoon. This way you get just the skin off and you leave behind all the flesh. Into the blender. And then is there anything else I need? Dijon mustard. A little bit of Dijon goes a long way. In something like this, like in a traditional dressing, like a vinaigrette, you want it to emulsify. But for this, I'm using it kind of for that peppery mustardiness that you would get with wasabi, right? Same kind of vibe. And now we blend. Taste it. That's so good. So you don't need to add tofu to the salad, but I was thinking to have a little bit of like a protein element in it and also to switch up the texture. So, you know, when you're making a salad or really anything, any plate you're composing, you always want to think of the balance of textures. So I've got these soba noodles, which are gonna be a little softer than regular pasta, a little chewier. And then I'm gonna have some chopped cucumber, some julienne bell pepper, a little bit of nectarine for more sweetness, of course the green onion. But I don't know, the chewiness of the tofu I think would be really good. And you could use chicken, you could use shrimp would be really good. But I think that's as far as I would go. I wouldn't go like beef because I feel like this is so mellow. You don't want to go with anything too intense. You know what I mean? I'm heating my grill pan. You could totally do this on a barbecue if you wanted, but we're inside, so we're using a grill pan. And I'm just gonna marinate this tofu with, actually let me show you what I did with it first. So this is about half a pack. It's not a crazy amount, and you can use however much you like, but I sliced it like this. But let's get a little bit of flavor. This is extra firm tofu. If you like it just regular firm, I'm not mad at you if you do that. But I do like it a little firmer. The one difference I will say, apart from texture between firm and extra firm tofu, is that extra firm is more spongy. So it's really gonna soak up whatever you marinate it with. And that's why I'm just using a little splash of some regular soy. Is this low sodium? It's low sodium soy. You can use tamari. You could totally use coconut aminos if you have those. Why not? I do have that. I could have used that, but I just thought of it right now. Okay, I'm just making sure that like both sides have a little bit of soy love. You see how spongy? That's just, it's already all in there. So you don't gotta go crazy. I'm gonna brush my grill pan with some oil. Something that has a high smoking point, like canola, grapeseed is really good. I'm just brushing all over. And also, because I have to cook the soba noodles, I'm going to get the water boiling for that as well. While everything is heating up, I'm going to chop some bell pepper. So just use, red bell pepper. I happen to have these cute little mini ones, so that's what I'm using. If you can find these, I love them. They are like sweeter than regular bell pepper, and they're like thinner. I don't know, so in my mind it's like more concentrated. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going with it. You know what they are? They're fruitier. It's like a fruitier bell pepper. I chose red because the color is just gorgeous. Fun fact, green peppers are just unripe peppers. So like all of them apparently start out green and then mature to like orange, red, or yellow. You heard it here first. I have like a bunch of random food facts in my head, many of which I will credit, a lot of them I will credit to Alton Brown on Food Network. His show Good Eats used to like learn so much about like the chemistry and science of food. Brilliant dude, brilliant. I'm using these little mini cucumbers. You could totally use English cucumber, like the ones that are like, what, double the diameter of this, but that's what I bought. And I'm just gonna slice this now into like coins that are thin, but not too thin, because you don't want them to get like mushy when they're tossed in the dressing. This might be like a perfect like park picnic dish. Everybody can eat this. This is basically, is it plant-based? I think it's plant-based. Oh my God, did I make a vegan recipe? What? By accident. Everything, yeah, it's like you just gotta check your soy and your ponzu and see. But yay. Let's put the tofu in the pan now because it's really hot. That's the sound. Nectarine. Now, here's the thing with nectarines. First of all, whether it's for this salad or eating it on a regular day, I only want the crunchy ones. I don't want a mushy peach. I don't want a mushy plum or nectarine. It's gotta be crunchy. And especially for this, again, we're thinking about the bite. So I'm gonna cut this kind of into matchsticks like the pepper, but first, okay, like this is a money shot of the tofu, so. Okay, hello. Who's ready for her close-up? That one, not so much. Okay, chopping the nectarines, and then in a second, we're gonna drop the soba noodles in because my water is boiling. So obviously watch the pit. My favorite season of the year is stone fruit season. When the cherries and the plums and the nectarines are just like killing it in the stores. That's when like all I want for dinner is fruit. And I'm not that person, but I'll do it then. This is great. So this is good. I know what I need. I need a plate. Excuse me while I get my paper towel. I hid it because I don't think it looks cute on the counter, so I put it on the floor. But now I need it, so it's kind of awkward, but I can do what I want. I'm putting on a paper towel because I want to see if it will hold some of its like, I don't want it to sweat, I want it to stay dry in texture. Here's the thing with soba noodles. The packages will say, you know, a certain number of minutes for doneness, but always go like a couple minutes less because, I don't know, sometimes if it's something that's been imported, like there's things that are lost in translation and you could end up overcooking your noodles. And again, like it's so much easier just to throw them back into water than it is to undo cooking that's already happened. You can't do that. So it says 4 minutes. I'm gonna put them in for 2. While I struggle with the plastic. Oops. So while the noodles cook, what should we talk about? I'm gonna taste one. I like that. I like that. And now we're gonna drain it and rinse them under cold water. Maybe that's not the pretty part, but we'll see. Nice. So, give them a nice drain, pop them into a bowl, and then toss them with like just a little splash of oil just to keep them from sticking together. One thing I'm going to also add that I didn't think of before is a little bit of serrano pepper, because a little bit of heat with all of these flavors, like everything is nice and savory and mellow and a little bit sweet, but adding that little bit of heat, I like it. You could use jalapeno if that's what you have, or nothing at all, or you could use some chili flakes, or you could add a little bit of sriracha or cayenne to your dressing, just something to add a little bit of warmth to it. Let's chop the tofu so that it's nice little bits. Chop aggressively like that. You don't want to drag too much because otherwise you're not going to get clean cuts. Let's go in with some of the dressing. Sandwich the noodles in dressing. Now let's plate some. And here's the thing, when you're plating, good opportunity to like layer some of these extra ingredients, because when you're working with like these types of noodly things, like I said, like it just doesn't, it's hard to get everything all combined. So layer. And then more green onions and serrano. And there you have it. My soba noodle salad with ponzu dressing, grilled tofu, and lots of love. Hope you guys like this one. If you make it, make sure you send me pics because I gotta see it. Okay, let's try to get a bite with like all the things. Tofu, hearty, cucumber, pepper, burning serrano. Yes, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna have to turn around for this bite.